A normal boy broke his best friend's arm, tortured baby brothers and sisters, and then killed his own mother, all because of a video game. Meet Eric. In 2018, Eric is 13 years old. If you meet him at school, you like him. He's the funny kid. He makes jokes, talks to everyone, and has a lot of friends. But Eric has a very dark side. He gets mad so fast. His anger is completely out of control. And he has one big obsession: Roblox. He does not play the fun, easy games. He only plays the fast, crazy shooter games. He loves the guns. He loves winning, and he plays them all day and all night. The first big problem happens at his best friend's house. Eric and his friend are sitting on a bed, playing Roblox on their tablets. Eric loses a big match. His face turns red. He yells at the top of his lungs. He grabs his friend's iPad and throws it as hard as he can against the bedroom wall. The screen breaks into 100 tiny pieces. His friend is shocked. Eric just walks out of the house. A few weeks later, things get much worse. Eric is playing outside in the park with two of his friends. They make a small joke about him losing his rank in Roblox. Eric loses his mind. He punches one boy right in the face. The boy falls to the dirt, crying. The second friend tries to pull Eric away. He says, "Stop, Eric, chill out." But Eric is blindingly angry. He grabs his friend's arm and twists it hard. He breaks his friend's arm. The boy falls to the ground screaming in very bad pain. The police are almost called. Eric's parents are angry and terrified. They ground him for a long time. Eric cries a lot. He looks at his mom and says, "I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry, Dad. I promise that I will never do anything bad again." And for a long time, he's perfect. He acts like a true angel. He does his math homework. He takes out the trash without being asked. He says good morning and smiles. His mom and dad slowly start to trust him again. They think their son is finally fixed because she trusts him again. Mom starts to leave Eric home alone to babysit his little brother, who is 5, and his baby sister, who is 3. She just goes to the grocery store to buy food. But as soon as the front door closes, Eric changes. He runs straight to his computer, puts on his headphones, and plays his Roblox shooter games. The little kids want to play with their big brother. They walk into his room holding their toys. They make normal, happy baby noises. This makes Eric crazy. He hates when they distract him from the screen. He rips off his headphones. He grabs his 5-year-old brother and punches him in the back. He pushes 3-year-old sister so hard she hits the floor. They start crying loudly. Eric points his finger at them and says, "If you make one more sound, I will hurt you worse. Shut up!" He locks them in the closet or pushes them under the bed every single time. Mom leaves the house. It is a living nightmare for the kids. They learn to hide in the dark corner of the room, shaking and quiet. They are terrified of their big brother. Eric does not care. He just looks at the screen and keeps shooting. Then comes the worst night of 2018. Dad is working late. Mom is home. He makes dinner and calls Eric to come downstairs to eat. Eric ignores her. He is in the middle of a very important Roblox match. His team is yelling in his headset. He is winning. Mom calls him again. "Eric, dinner is getting cold." He still does not answer. Finally, Mom walks upstairs and opens his bedroom door. She is very mad. "Turn that stupid game off right now," she yells. Eric tells his mom to shut up. Mom has had enough. She walks behind the desk and unplugs the computer router. The screen goes completely black. The game is gone. Eric freezes. His eyes go wide. He does not see his mother anymore. He only sees red, pure anger. He grabs a heavy metal object sitting on his desk. He attacks her. He hits her with it over and over again. Mom screams for him to stop, but Eric cannot hear her. He is so lost in his deep anger that he cannot stop his hands. He hits her until she falls to the floor. He hits her until she stops breathing. The house goes dead silent. Only sound comes from the hallway. His 5-year-old brother and 3-year-old sister are standing by the door. They saw everything. They are crying so loud. They are shaking with absolute fear, holding each other. Eric drops the heavy metal down. It hits the floor with a loud noise. He walks over to his bed and sits down. He looks at his hands covered in red. He does not run away. He just stares at the wall. 2 hours later, the front door opens. "I am home! I brought ice cream!" Dad yells from the kitchen, but no one answers. The house feels too quiet. Dad walks up the stairs. Then he sees them. The 2 little kids are sitting on the floor in the hallway. They are crying so hard they cannot breathe. Their faces are red and covered in tears. Dad runs to them. "What is wrong? Where's mommy?" The little boy points a shaking finger towards Eric's room. Dad walks to the door. He looks inside. Dad falls to his knees. He lets out a horrible, painful scream that shakes the whole house. He pulls his hair. He cannot believe his eyes. His beautiful wife is gone, and his 13-year-old son is just sitting on the bed doing nothing. Dad crawls to the 2 little kids and hugs them so tight to his chest. He grabs his phone and calls the 911. He is crying so hard, choking on the tears, that the police can barely understand what he is saying. Red and blue lights fill the street. The police arrive with loud sirens. They put cold metal handcuffs on Eric's wrists, take him away in the back of the police car. Eric goes to juvenile prison, also called juvie. It is a cold, dark place with small grey walls. He wears an ugly uniform. He has no friends here. He has no Roblox. He has no family. He is completely alone in a tiny cell to think about the terrible thing he did to his own mother. For the rest of the family, life becomes very dark and very sad. Dad is completely broken. He cannot sleep at all. The little boy and the little girl have terrible nightmares every single night. They wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning and crying, screaming, remembering what their big brother did. The house feels cold and empty. Holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving are awful because mom's chair is empty. Sometimes the 3-year-old sister asks, "When is mommy coming from sleeping?" And dad just breaks down and cries. Dad works 2 hard jobs just to pay for a special doctor, talk to his kids and help them fix their broken minds. For years, nobody in the house smiles. They visit the grave, they bring flowers, they cry, and feel like their happy life is over forever. But time passes, and Dad is a very strong, good man. After a few dark years, he looks at his growing kids and decides they need a new life. He takes them far away from that terrible house. They move to a new bright city with warm weather. Dad gets a great new job at a nice company. He buys a beautiful house with a big green backyard. The little 5-year-old boy grows up to be a smart and teenager. He plays sports. He gets good grades and has many good friends who love him. The little 3-year-old girl becomes a beautiful, happy student who loves drawing, painting, and music. They even get a big, goofy golden retriever dog to play with. One evening, they are all sitting around the dinner table. The food smells amazing. The teenager is telling funny jokes about his friends. The girl is laughing loudly. The dog is sleeping happily under the table. Dad stops eating for a second. He looks at his son and his daughter. They are safe. They are smiling. For the first time in a very long time, Dad smiles too. He feels a warm, beautiful peace in his heart. They survived the worst pain in the world. Eric will spend his life locked inside a small, cold prison cell, paying for his horrible choice. He will never get his family back. But for Dad and the 2 kids, the nightmare is over. They are free, they are safe, and they finally have a beautiful life they deserve. So how do you like this video, guys? Like and subscribe if you like it.